Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hello everyone. On behalf of Indian Achievers Forum, I would like to welcome everyone present here. And today we have all gathered to discuss on a very crucial topic. And I would also like to welcome Dr. Shabnam Asthana, who's the director of Indian Achievers Forum, and she'll be moderating this session. And we'd welcome your insights on the topic. And over to Dr. Shabnam now.
Thank you, Vatika. Good morning and a very warm welcome on behalf of Indian Achievers Forum. As we embark upon this very pertinent and engaging subject, I request our panel of experts, whom I shall introduce in no particular order, to take the discussion forward. We begin with Mr. Rahul Chaturvedi, Staff Software Engineer, Uber Inc. Technologies Inc. For around 2 decades, Mr. Rahul Chaturvedi has woven a tapestry of excellence in software engineering. A scholar with high honors, he swiftly established himself as a maestro of big data and streaming technologies. His unwavering dedication to crafting ingenious solutions has yielded a symphony of success, earning him numerous accolades and solidifying his place as a revered figure within the industry. Through his steadfast dedication to mentoring, he embodies the essence of transformative mentorship, illuminating the path for future technologies to follow. Over to you, Rahul.
Thanks, Shabnam and Vatika for having me here and inviting me. It's a great honor to be a panelist among the esteemed other panelists. I definitely feel the topic is a very important topic, and I feel that the Indian diaspora is actually creating and fostering the international trade and investment opportunities for various Indian companies and Indian universities as well, and helping a lot of young professionals. Specifically, the network which the Indian diaspora has created so far. So Indian companies and industries can leverage the networking opportunities through the hard work that Indian diaspora has already done so far, and they can use the market insights from the Indian diaspora and able to understand the local regulations and be able to enter into the new country whenever they are trying to enter. It can help reduce the risks because the people have they have already created some of the network and mutually beneficial partnerships which they have created so far. So these things can be leveraged by the Indian industry and universities. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We now move on to Mr. Mayank Mitra, lead TPM data platform Conivava. Mr. Mayank Mitra is a dynamic technical program management leader with a solid foundation in driving operational excellence across the Google Cloud platform, characterized by a robust technical background and a knack for solving novel problems. His career highlights an impressive track record of initiating groundbreaking products and solutions, notably in real-time state analytics at Conviva, significantly impacting multi-million ARR. His innovative work in analytics, AI, and process innovation such as the SSO and TWICS framework, has notably improved system stability by 60% at Conviva, showcasing his ability to drive substantial technological advancements. Over to you, Mainak.
So I was saying that thank you very much, Ms. Shabnam, Vatika, and all the panelists for being here and being present in the moment. Just to add on to what Ms. Shabnam said, so yeah, I have been working with Conviva for last about a year now, but prior to that, for some decade, I've been working with multiple FANG organizations, predominantly Google and Apple before joining Conviva. Essentially, I've been working in the data and analytics platform, and I've been working in that area for quite some time now. And I've been researching in that area, like in terms of the investment portfolios and things like that also, right? So like historically, if I look at like US is called as the land of opportunity, right? But on the contrary, I also think India is a bigger land of opportunity, right? So like from historical point of view, if you look at like from the beginning or the inception, like be it European countries, Mediterranean countries, or whatsoever it is, people have been gathering in and around India for the sake of all the different opportunities, be it land, be it money, be it gold, be it whatsoever it is, right? So India is the land of opportunity. Now, coming into the current framework, right? Even I mean, currently probably the dynamics might have changed a little bit, but prior to this, real estate probably, in my opinion, was one of the biggest opportunistic area for all the NRIs and people across the globe in India, like in our domain, I would say, like industrial domain and the people from IT and things like that. So almost about, let's say about 15% of overall real estate investment basically comes from the NRI diaspora, or no, and then in 2025 that kind of increased up to 20% based on some data and numbers and figures. Now, of late, recently, I think there had been quite a bit of increment in terms of the healthcare domain, fintech domain, and EV domain, where I see a lot of changes happening, a lot of opportunities coming in, and essentially, again, coming from the AI area, and that's where I'm currently working on. I see there is a huge amount of growth and innovation and development happening in that area, right? So, in the year 2023 alone, there had been about near about in overall startup organization, there is about 20 billion of 10 billion of USD investment had happened in India, right? In terms of all the different organizations. And again, mostly focus had been, let's say, people have been focusing on the early stage startups, focusing on the positive outlook of the organizations and things like that. And in AI field, between 2013 to 2023, I think there had been a substantial amount of investment, about almost whooping $80 billion. So which is quite a bit, quite high with respect to if you compare the real estate investment and whatsoever has happened in the past. Now, something that I was researching a little bit in terms of the, again, AI area is like, I have recently heard about, there is something called Sarvam AI. I don't know how much of that all of you guys are aware of. That probably is one of the predominant AI development that's happening, where it's more of like the LLM model, which is based on the Indian languages, all the different regional and sub-regional Indian languages. They're trying to build a LLM model. And there is some another initiative from Geo and Reliance called Bharat GPT, so which is probably going to be a similar version of Chat GPT or whatnot. I don't know yet, but those are some of the predominant areas of AI development that I see. And last but not the least, like, even in US, right? So all the big tech companies, most of the big tech companies, you would see the CEOs, CTOs are from India, right? Be it Satya Nadella, be it Sundar Pichai, be it Arvind Krishnan, be it whatsoever it is. So I think Indians have a strong connect, right? Not only to the technology, but back there in home also, right? And that kind of lays or paves the path for investment and taking investment back to India and doing some great stuff. And I think that's a great thing, and we should all kind of take advantage of that and maybe get associated with it whenever we get a chance.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you. Very
interesting.
interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
We next
We next.
move on to Mr. Shamam Mohandas Bhatt, Cisco Meraki. Mr. Shamam Bhatt is a proven achiever who is making outstanding contributions to the field of telecommunication engineering and wireless technology. He is an active researcher pursuing many critical subjects, publishing extensively in esteemed international technical outlets and journals, while also actively engaging in peer review to advance scholarly discourse in the wireless field. After completing his studies, Shamam gained valuable hands-on industry experience at Cisco as a product engineer for networking products, where his work culminated in $200,000 of revenue savings. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, Shamam, over to you.
Hey, thank you, Shabnam, and yeah, thank you, Atika, as well for hosting this, and thank you, the fellow panelists, for joining. It's an honor to be with such high achieving panelists as well. Yeah, to continue on what you said earlier, yeah, so I'm got my undergrad in telecommunications and masters in communications and signal processing, and I've been an active researcher and working in the industry at Qualcomm, Cisco, and Mercedes-Benz R&D so far. And I've worked about 6 years, 6 to 8 years totally, including internships and industry experience full time. Um, so, yeah, so I moved to the US back in 2016, and I've been here since then. And so yeah, so this topic is something that I can relate to personally, right? So, as Menak and Rahul said earlier, so we have a lot of opportunities when we come out of the country to Western countries, where the demand for high skilled labor is good enough, right? For better standard of living, better pay, and like better opportunities in areas of tech that we are interested in. So that was one of the reasons why I moved as well. But nowadays, as Maya pointed out, the opportunities in India are also increasing like pretty rapidly. There is a great there's almost like a movement of people going back and opening new businesses and startups in India, and this is because of the network that we have built over the years, right? So it makes it's like a two-way, like mutual benefit for both parties, where companies can also open new offices and branches in India, and the Indian government also gives them subsidies and other economic benefits to open offices, and they can also, it also improves employment opportunities in India, right? So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest benefits I've seen, and I know a lot of my colleagues and friends also who moved to the US earlier have now moved back to pursue opportunities in different areas, such as like autonomous driving, for example, with some companies like Ola and like other electrical vehicle companies. So yeah, so that's one of the big movements that I'm seeing in the past 5 to 10 years. It's not just one way from India outside, but also back to India. And one more thing I notice is, as the network of the Indian diaspora increases across the globe, it makes it easier to like start new businesses and trade across different countries without having that initial hurdle of government or other bureaucratic problems, right, that we usually see. So with time, as like the Indian population starts getting into political areas in other countries, it becomes more and more like more and more easier for companies and other individuals to start new businesses. And yeah, as Manak already said, like we have this tech leadership such as Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, who are all starting campaigns and other movements in India, such as Digital India campaign and Google for India campaign, for example. So yeah, it's again like mutually beneficial for both parties, not just one way. And yeah, that's what I have to say so far.
Thank you. That's very interesting, Shamam. Now we move on to our last panelist, Mr. No, we are also joined by, just, yes, I do see. We see Mr. Kapil Kaul also with us, ex-national president, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. I invite you, sir, to address us now. A little bit about Mr. Kapil Kaul, the former national president of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. He embodies leadership, fostering bilateral ties, promoting trade, and driving economic collaboration between India and the United States. Mr. Kapil Kaul, for you.
Good morning, everybody. First, may I apologize for my delay in joining this webinar. I just got caught up somewhere in Lucknow. I'm in Lucknow at the moment. And I only got to hear a bit of Shamam and I think Mehak, right? Right. Uh,
Mainak.
uh, pardon?
Pardon?
Mine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
So
So
Yeah.
the script is
the
the
script
very
is very
tiny out
tiny
here.
out there.
Okay,
Okay,
anyway.
anyway.
So
So
thank you
thank you
for
for
inviting me
inviting
for the
for
show. And I hope you can hear me clearly because there was some reverberation before this. So, as my last position says, I was the national president of Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, and I am generally focused on uh, bringing India and America together in all fields of our activities. It's a bit hackneyed for me now, but let me put it this way again that India and the US, if you see an Indian, if he wants to get educated, he wants an opportunity. It's more often than not that we look towards United States, primarily because it's a innovations driver. It's a kind of frontier technology spirit which has been driving United States of America for I don't know how long it has taken. At the same time, while the US is focused on technology, materialism, finance, uh, growth, which they measure on perhaps a day to day basis or a week to week basis, not even a Y to Y basis. So, in fact, this is one complaint that I've had with the American administration for now 4 decades. I've been constantly raising this that please view India with a different perspective. You can't view our country on a completely material scale. It doesn't work. And we are a different kind of a people. Not that we don't want materialism, we do. We are just as material as anybody else. But it's just that we are also driven by other perspectives. And essentially, we do have a spiritual background, in a sense, in our own past, in our own way of life. And I keep saying this that whenever any prominent American needs a head fix, he generally comes down to either Banaras or he comes down to Rishikesh or somewhere. And I can name you a string of high profile people, which all of you will recognize, including Madonna, including uh, your Apple, what is his
What's his
name?
name?
Steve
Steve
Jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Steve
Steve
Jobs,
Jobs,
the
the
Beatles. I
Beatles.
mean,
I
keep
can
running it
keep
over.
running it over.
So
So
the issue
the
is
issue
that
is that
we
we
have
have
with us
with
in
us in
India
India,
spiritual background. We have the software background. We've got the brains. We've got centuries of civilizational thought processes. A lot of it you can't quantify scientifically at the moment, but it's extremely relevant. So both the countries, and we offer a market also. And now, with thanks to the pandemic, we are doing this webinar. So if you are in the US, you got a problem that you'll be sleeping, we are awake, or when we are sleeping, they are awake. So the two countries now can actually seamlessly get in touch with each other. And I also use another line that Nixon and Kissinger took the leap of faith in the 70s to partner China. So, and I said that you Americans have got a problem with us that we talk too much, we argue too much. Well, we are a democracy. Just like you're a democracy, we are a democracy. And I don't think any relationship goes anywhere if either you dictate to one person and the other person just listens, right? Or you enter into a relationship with China, which is a dictatorship anyway. Okay, you've got it.
So we move on to our panelist who's been waiting very patiently, Mr. Shailesh Giri, Chief Data and Analytics Officer, Extremum Analytics. Shailesh Giri is a distinguished Chief Data Officer with a formidable background in data science and digital strategy, boasting over 15 years of leadership in sectors like insurance, banking, healthcare, and digital services. His career trajectory includes pivotal roles at leading companies such as Axtria, EXL, and Hava, where he has showcased his expertise in creating robust digital solutions and analytics frameworks that enhance customer experiences and combat fraud. Do we request Mr. Kapil to continue, and then maybe we could move on to Shailesh? Yes, sir.
Sorry, I got cut off. I think there's some
Yes,
timing
some
compliance.
network issue. Yes.
Okay, so I'll just conclude by saying that essentially, I said that America should take the leap of faith with India. And there's one thing which I'd say on a commercial scale, that and not just commercial, but even in terms of our attitude as people. I keep telling them that you may have a little difficulty on trying to drive us on a similar basis as an American corporation drives itself. It doesn't work out here. We got a different time lag, and the reason is that I said Western philosophy is you have only one life, but our Indian philosophy is that we are only transiting from one life to the next and to the next. So that's how we think. And unfortunately, time for us is very expansive. It goes into a limitless thing. So there are things that you have to work with, but nonetheless, we add value. And I can see that all you guys have added value in your business relationships or whatever work you're doing in the US or wherever you're doing, right? So you're physical examples of this. So the diaspora link between specifically America and India is getting stronger, will get stronger. And for my own side, I'm still working on these efforts to see that the US and India bring itself closer on a complete scale of having more trust in each other and adapting to American ways and America adapting to our ways. With that, thanks for giving me a patient hearing, and sorry for the slight disruption and the delay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your valuable time, the engaging discourse we had. We've come back with a lot of takeaways. It's been very interesting to listen to your perspective. Thank you so much. May I
Thank you.
move on to Mr. Shailesh?
Thanks, everyone. I think this is a wonderful bouquet of people out here, and very different perspective, very kind of sensitive sharing across that has happened. So my understanding is, I think we are in a state of flux. It is getting transition. Uh, when we talk about international trade, I think two things that come from the way I read it is the two-way traffic that happens between two countries, and one of the important drivers that we find is probably FDIs and FIIs, the way they're investing in India. At the same time, the way the Indian diaspora spread through the key positions in US. So I think both of those go hand in glove. And as somebody rightly said, when it comes to innovation, when it comes to analytics practice, when it comes to because I come from analytics and data science and got this generative AI piece already kicking off out here. A lot of people are experimenting a lot around this. Uh, these innovations are the core of driving that entire change. Because if you look at even the CEOs, even the top shots, even the people who are now, if you look at over 200 plus Indian people, they are spread across top level positions, even in political diaspora, across almost 15 countries at very key positions. Similarly, on corporate side, there are people who are actually controlling the entirety of that decision making. So what has happened is, because the way we are constructed as Indians, I think we have a perfect blend of being sensitive about things. We have a perfect blend of being analytical, mathematically wiser, and spiritually awake. Uh, these are the reasons which actually differentiate us from a lot of other ethnicity. There's no comparison. I am not saying somebody is better or somebody is worse. It is the way we are crafted. And that way has coined so deep into our DNA that no matter where Indian diaspora be, whether it is Dr. Shabnam hosting this interesting discussion, or probably uh, Mainak driving a lot of cloud-based innovations, or Shanam kind of comparing across, or the experiences, the wonderful experiences that Kapil shared. The most important part is we as individuals have a differentiator, and that differentiator is the reason why it is fostering that strong movement for FDIs, FIIs, and international trade. Just to look at basics, to 2000 or 2001, it was about $4 billion FDI investment. Look at now, it would have crossed, probably last report I read was around $70 billion, or $80 billion would be something that would be coming in FDI. The reason is trust, our ability, and our ability to see through the vision that people craft out. And I think that is what is going to differentiate even further. And that is what I feel, whether it's generative AI, place like where I am trying to strive with my own company, or whether it's the work that we have been doing into different geopolitical areas, whether it's about the innovation work streams which are on into manufacturing side of it. Lot of commotion, lot of flux that is happening, and that is happening because the way we are crafted. And now we are realizing that we don't need to follow somebody else. We need to be ourselves and see how we can be useful to others for solving the larger world problems. So we are India Diaspora is kind of now strategizing it out for ourselves, recrafting its positioning, and that's where I think the change is happening. So that's where I feel. But it's absolutely wonderful to hear things from so many of you, and such a wide variety of experiences. And thanks, Dr. Shabnam. I think this is a wonderful place to connect. At least I get more wiser for sure listening to all that.
Thank you very much. So, the discussions today have reiterated what we already knew, that the Indian diaspora plays a significant role in fostering international trade and investment through various means, whether it is leveraging our expertise, our networks, resources, and influencing to strengthen economic ties between India and the rest of the world. Our contributions are instrumental in promoting economic growth, innovation, and sustainable development in both India and the host countries. Thank you, panelists, for your enriching views and perspectives. It's been an invigorating exchange with valuable takeaways and precious learning. Thank you once again for your time.